Well, here we have the Heftee Lift 2000 that we just got in, and it has some major issues with it. So I'm making this video so the guys at the factory or whatever can try to figure it out and help us out and get us a working lift. So as you can see, I purchased this lift brand new from Heftee. Just got it in just about $9,000. So not cheap, super expensive for what it is. And this is what we got. So they shipped us out the lift to begin with, and we started to assemble it. Right off the bat, we ran into some major issues with assembly. So the first issue we ran into was going to be this piece right here. This bolt hole didn't line up. So basically we had to take it back off, grind down the metal for it to sit on there all the way, for the bolt to actually slide through. The holes were interfering with each other. So we got that fixed, got that on there, no big deal. Second major issue we ran into was these chain tensioners. When they came, they're round. They're not flat. So with it being round, you can't get the connector link in there and get the cotter pin in. So they told us from the factory, we have to grind these down to make it fit. For a $10,000 lift or $9,000, we should not be grinding these safety component parts. These chains hold the entire weight of whatever's on the lift. And they expect us to grind those down so the cotter pins can fit in. To me, that's kind of unacceptable. They also said this wasn't going to come in, the RAM, and they mailed us one, but it came in already. So I'm not sure why they mailed us the extra one. And further on, assembling the lift, these arms here, they call them the lift forks. When you put them on the cradle, they have to lock in. They go down and they lock in. Well, they wouldn't lock into place, so we actually had to grind down this metal here so this lock would safely lock it in there and it would fit, correctly. So I called them up and they were going to resolve the issue, and they sent us a new frame and new forks because they said that's the major issue, because what we're seeing is it's not going all the way down. So the lift is off the ground. It's not touching all the way. This side's even worse. If you look over here, you can fit your hand underneath here. This is supposed to be touching the concrete. This side, this side's also not as bad. It's kind of tilting that way, but I can still stick my finger underneath it. It's not touching the concrete all the way around. You can see this ramp here is higher. This ramp over here is pretty much even. But then when you come over to these ramps, the wheel's gonna hit that right there. That should be below that. So that's why that's an issue, hovering off the ground. And these are the new forks. These are all the new components they put on there. So we had to lift this out of the top with the forklift and replace it. It's a ton of heavy metal. It's a lot of work. They also sent us new chains. We got the new chains in there, the new tensioners in there, and it's just not working. It's a lot of money to spend on a lift for it not to work. What we have found out is if you adjust it up so that it goes on the top lock right here, it won't touch the floor. So that's how it is right now. But to use it safely, it has to be able to lock on that top lock. You can't have someone under the machine and not have it lock up there. So when we first got this, it wouldn't go up. I'm like, all right, well, we got to grind more stuff. So I ground off about an eighth of an inch off the top of this to try to get it to fit in there. And we finally got it adjusted to fit in there, but it's just still not right. It's not touching the ground when it goes all the way to the top of the lock, or we can get it on the lock and it won't touch the ground. It's either one or the other. So something's not right. I believe it's going to be either in the main frame or it's going to be in this lifting ram here, because that's what brings it up. So it's not bringing it up high enough, or these got welded on too high and it physically can't reach it. And I've talked to the guys at Heftee, and they just can't figure it out. Nothing, I do helps them out. They seem to be a bunch of older guys where they can't look at videos. They won't FaceTime me. All they're willing to do is, voice talk back and forth on the phone and, send pictures in, which that's very slow. And we have this thing blocking up our main bay of our shop here, and we can't use it. So that's where we're at. They sent us new pieces trying to fix it. It obviously still is not fixed. So I guess now they want us to fully disassemble this lift, which we have about 10 hours in this thing, assembling it and not working on lawnmowers and wasting our time. They want us to fully disassemble this lift, crate it back up, ship it back to them, and then I guess they're going to ship us a new lift. And that seems like an awful lot of work and a lot of effort, seeing we spent, you know, $9,000 on this. We're losing all that money, all that time, and we still have a broken lift. So this video is for them to try to figure it out. But we're going to have Midas run the lift while I video it and show you guys what's going on here. So the lift works properly. Everything goes up and down good. But you can see it wasn't on the floor before. We're going to bring this all the way up here on top, and we're going to see it click the top lock. And there she goes, up the first rail. And it just clicks underneath there. See, it's not a lot of room. It's just skating there. It's just touching the paint. And remember, I already ground off an 1/8 inch off of this. So it's just above it. And when you bring it all the way down, it doesn't touch the floor. And this is how we have it adjusted right here on the adjustments. To bring it all the way up to the locks, we have to run these down so it brings the cradle higher. If we bring these all the way down so the nuts are flush with it, yeah, the arms will lay on the floor, but then again, it won't lock at the top. So that's the main issue we're having, is that it's not operating correctly up and down, and it's not a safe manner. So we want to get this figured out, so when someone's underneath this thing with a $2,000 pound lawnmower on it, it's not going to fall down and kill them, because right now it's not safe.